So I've got this image right over here and I want to color it somehow to make it matching, that looks good together, and I'm not sure what colors to give it and which colors will go well with each other. For that exact reason, Adobe made this beautiful color guide panel, which we can use to get colors to match others and to see which colors go very well with others, and to get also tints and shades for any color which we've chosen. So let's just hop inside. This is located right over there. If you don't have it, you can always go down to Windows and choose Color Guide from there, or that shortcut. You can always just pull it out or collapse it, move it around, all of that stuff. So the very first color we see here is actually the color which will be there. So it can be either because it shows a color, or you can get this color from, you can pick any color here or anything. That's the color that will be there on top. So say I want to set this as my base color. Once you press on it, this will be your base color, and now all these colors will work according to this base color. You can see the first base color is actually highlighted, and that's the color which all the other colors will be based on, all the harmonies. Then we can go down from here and choose any of these harmonies which we have here, and it does the job. Now just a little bit about color harmonies. I'm sure lots of you know so much more than I do about it. The color harmonies is actually based on the color wheel. So you've got the color wheel over here, and you can choose a color which will match that color which you've chosen to make it look good and nice together. So there's many methods of choosing a color harmony. You can choose across the color from the color wheel. So you've chosen a color on top, and then you can choose the color below it, or that's any side, the opposite color on the color wheel. Or you can choose it split in a triangular form, or in a rectangle form. There's so many ways of defining colors. You can choose the color which is right next to it on the color wheel, the color next to it on the right side, on the left side, and these are normally colors which go well together with the first color which you've chosen. So that's what color harmonies is. Now instead of us having to go through the color wheel and seeing which color is opposite or which color is next to it and which one goes best with it, and choosing loads of other colors based on our first base color, so thank goodness we actually have a panel which does it all for us. So right over here, once you set this as your base color, you can go down to this arrow and choose from any of these harmonies. You can read about them. I'm sure Google will have a lot more to say about them than I do. So you can choose complementary or split complementary, all these different methods of getting colors matching, and this works for every single color that you do here. So that's very cool. So say I want to get complementary, then I know these colors are actually complementary one to the other, and we can use these as any regular swatches panel. So say I want to apply it to this one here, I can just pick on it and choose that one over there and this one. So you kind of get the idea how it works. All these colors appear also here. So all these colors right over there, which we've chosen from the harmony, appears also underneath this triangle. So these are all those colors. You can choose any other one. Just make this, that's more interesting. And like we said, you can change your base color by just grabbing any color here and clicking on this one. That'll change this to be the base color. So now all these change accordingly because it's based on this triad harmony which I've chosen here. Just by the way, if you don't see all the options, you can always go to this icon there and choose show options. So I hope you have them all now. And then we've got also all these colors right here in the center. These colors on the right and on the left are tints and shades. It's actually the same color of this light blue, just adding black to it. That's what a shade is, and a tint is adding white to it. So we can get any of these colors, so we don't just have this color harmony or color rule. We also have all these tints and shades to these colors which we've added. So now I can actually change, like you can see here, for the dimension. So this one I know is inside, so this will be darker, and I'll choose more of a shade for that one. And this one is outside, I'll choose more of a lighter purple, say this one. It all depends on where the light is coming from and which angle I have the object. and all of that. But also, besides for just being for angles, it helps to get more choice of your colors. So just as we know, red goes with green, but you don't just have to make this basic red and green boring thing. You can also have it many different tints and shades of that red and green. This gives us much bigger selection and variety of colors. So once again, we've got our main color, which is our color base. That's what we're basing our whole artwork on. And then we can choose any color harmonies. So based on that, we can get a complementary color to that base color. And once we've got a complementary color, which will be down in the middle or any harmony which you choose, then you can get tints and shades on the other side of this triangle. If you decide that this shade is way too dark, like you're not going to use that black color, even as a very dark shade, you won't be using that such dark color, or the white is like too bright, you can always go here and choose color guide options. Here you can choose how many steps this will have. So as you can see, this has now 4 steps on either side of my main colors. You can choose to have more steps, so that gives you more variety and more colors to choose from, or less steps if you don't need that many. Looks like 3 is the least. And you can choose variation of how drastic will the colors be to either side, to the tints or to the shades. So currently it's 100%, that means it's going from complete white to complete black. So you can change that will be not as much. If you put it down to 0, there will be absolutely no difference. Everything is right the same across from tints to shades. But say you want it like, so it's a bit more, there's not like too drastic, you're gonna go up to like 60%. So now it's not as drastic and you have loads of colors to choose from. I think too many. So I can get now any shade here that's a bit more better, and this one I want it not as light. You get the idea here. Down below here you have this icon where you can choose either from none or from any of these options. You can choose document swatches, which does all the colors which we've got on the document. So those are the colors that we've chosen here. Or you can choose from any of these swatch libraries, and those colors will be according to that. So you can see which one you've chosen from here. Then we've got another option here to recolor. It's the same thing as once we select, let's select these stuff first. You have the same icon right there, and you can choose to, to recolor all the objects according to any other things. So you can choose from here just as well, and that will actually recolor any existing one. You can even go to edit and just change around the colors as much as you like here. I think this is way too drastic. So now you have a candle at night. You can even add a small moon. There you go. Now you have the small candle at night, and I've done that all in one single step like you saw. You just go to recolor the artwork with this icon here, and you can change all the colors together to make them according to one certain color shade or tint. Or then you've got here another option which just saves all these main colors. So currently it's only black and white, but we can save any of the main colors which we used in our artwork. So you can choose from any of these complementary, contrast, any of these color harmonies, and save them to your swatches. Every time I press on it, it gets saved to my swatches. You can see that from here. So as you can see, it gets saved there every time when I press on it. I don't need so many of these. You can also save these swatches by going to these options here and choose save colors as swatches. That'll save it in your swatches panel. And edit colors is just like this icon there, that's like we demonstrated. Color guide options is what we showed before. You can choose how many steps to have on either side and how far should it go in the tints and the shades. And then we've got here another 3 options. So currently we're under shades and tints, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can choose warm colors or vivid. So let's just show them. So this is more warm and cool colors. Let me just change this. Too many steps, and let's make it slightly more drastic so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is cool colors and warm colors, which is basically more bluish purplish colors, and the warm ones are more like reds and orange. Or you can choose vivid or muted. So you've got any of these options instead of just shades and tints, which you can choose from down there. So that's basically it. Just as a tip, you can get your tints or shades also from the color panel. If you don't have it, you can always go to Windows and choose color there. You can change any of these. We have a whole lesson about that. You can check it out. But you can get your tints or shades by holding down Control or Command key while you're moving them. And as you can see, this moves together to give you a tint or a shade of the color which you chose. And another thing is that you may want to create sometimes your own color palette where you can get lots of colors in and make them of different shades and different colors, so you can just sample from there easily. I have too many here. So you could go to each one and change from here the brightness as you go along, and that's how you can create your own custom made color palette. But there is an easier way to do so. Instead of getting all of this, you can get it very exact and precise. So let's just delete these and make this quite a lot darker. And what's cool about this is that you can control exactly everything. Like we'll see now, you can go to Object, choose Blend, and Make. That makes basically a gradient, but it's not really a gradient, it's just tons of squares in between them. But we can always change that. Go to Object, Blend, and Blend Options. Here you can choose specific steps and choose how many steps to have. So let's make it, let's say, 7 steps, and check the preview, or you can make even less than 7. 4 steps, and as you can see, it gives you the whole variety of colors from this darker color of red until this lighter shade. And you can pick from any of these using the color picker to color your artwork. You can even choose this as a library and recolor your whole artwork according to this one. And you can even add this to your swatches panel. You could also recolor this. It's all, by the way, a live artwork. So as you can see here, it's only an outline. It's not, each one is not a square on its own. If you press Control Command Y like we just did, you can choose this and choose recolor. And you can change this even, so it's that easy to get any other color palette, just like so. You can even get loads of color palettes and preset colors which go very well with each other in the Adobe official color site. There's even a game there for colors if you want to play it. I will place a link down in the description. People created and they uploaded all the colors from their artwork, so you can check it all out there. And one last tip, if we've got like too many colors and too vivid or too bright or too diverse colors, so as you can see, it's like way too diverse. So obviously it's just an example of squares, but sometimes you have a poster and you make like different colors for different things and it turns out way too many colors or too colorful. You can select it all and go to edit colors and choose blend. You can choose any of these blend forms, so it's a front to back. As you can see, this keeps the same colors within that same range. You can even go to edit and choose which ones adjust color balance, and you can choose how much to give to it, so how much red or how much green, and all of that you can choose here, and you can recolor the whole artwork accordingly. So this just tones it all down and makes it look more even and more harmonized together. So let's just go over that very quickly. You've got here your main color, which you can set, that's the color there, which you can set as a base color. It's not a base color unless you set on it. Sometimes it works automatically, but not always. You have to press on that, and then it sets this as a base color. On that base color, you can build any color harmony. You can choose from here any of your options which you may like. You'll see these colors here as well. On your right or to your left, you will have normally tints and shades. You can change any of those from here. So we can get now tints and shades, and you can choose how many steps on each side and how diverse, to what extreme extent will be the colors, so like complete white or halfway. You can also recolor your whole artwork just by pressing on recolor artwork or edit colors. And like we said, you can get your own color palette, or you can download some from Adobe Colors and all of that sort in another lesson. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you gained something, only if you gained something, please give a like and subscribe. Also feel free to share any of your comments, ideas, questions, suggestions, or just anything you want to share or add at the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.